Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome to Estancia Lapacho, the Farming Simulator 17 Platinum expansion. It's here, finally. Today is the 14th. It's currently around 4:30 in the morning here in the UK. I've been playing this for the last couple of hours, just trying to get used to certain little bits and bobs, and wanted to do my map tour as well. And we're ready to now jump in and start our Let's Play. So, let's take a quick stock. There's a couple of things I did actually miss off on the map tour. If you haven't seen that yet, I'll pop it up in the top right corner for you right now. There it is. So you can click that, watch the map tour, and then come back and watch the Let's Play. Or if you prefer, you can watch the first episode of the Let's Play, and then if you want to watch the map tour, there's a link in the description of this video as well. I'll make a reminder at the end of the episode. You can open up the description and find the link to the map tour in there as well. So, the things I missed off. I kind of spotted this in the distance but as I drove away, but I didn't actually come and explore it. So I just want to come and have a look. It's obviously not a plane we can use. How cool would that be if we can actually get out and fly around the map? But this is just a static prop. But we do have a little, single-engine prop plane in here, in our little hangar, with a few tools and stuff dotted around. That's kind of nice. And then over here, this is what I didn't come and check out, and I do apologise for missing this on the tour. We also have a case 1455 with a single row billet planter for our sugarcane, and it's fully loaded as well. So if I just jump up this ladder, you'll see that we have around 8,000 litres of sugarcane in here, and just under 1,000 litres of fertiliser in this as well. So this is all set and ready to go. It just needs to be sort of switched on and activated on a field. Speaking of our fields, we have 3 fields to start with. We have fields 1, 2 and 14. Now 2 and 14 are both cultivated. Field 1 has wheat on it that is ready to harvest. And all of our fields, as you would expect, need ploughing. So we kind of need to to get the best out of our crops, we need to plough these fields. So what I'm thinking is we're going to harvest this field here, and while we're doing that, we're also going to get a worker going away on this field. This one we're not going to plough. We're just going to plant on that one, and then this one we are going to plough and seed at the same time. And it does mean we're going to have to kind of rejig our equipment a little bit. Plus, I don't really want to use the case 1455 here. This is all about the new equipment, this playlist. It's all about the new stuff that we've been given and trying it all out. So, what I'm going to do is reset this back to the store. There we go. And we're going to replace it with something different. So just before I do that, let's just quickly show you everything that we have for our new farm. So we have the 1455, which we're about to trade in. We're not going to get a huge amount for it because it's got 18.5 hours on it, so it is a bit old. But we do have a front loader and a couple of different tools, a pallet fork and a bucket. We have our Brantner trailer. We have a couple of different Agco weights. We have our pickup truck, and we're probably going to get rid of that as well, if I'm honest. We have the Bison combine. We also have this MF4709, the little tiny mini Massey here, 95 horsepower. This can't be configured to remove the sunshade. That is kind of a permanent fixture on it, but you can change the wheel options on it, and you can fit a front loader attachment. Ours already has a front loader on it, which is good. Then there's the ST Max 105. This is the smaller of the 2 Star tractors. This can't fit a front loader. It doesn't have any engine options, but it does have a few little wheel options. Then we get into the tools. So we have the single row billet planter that I've just shown you. We also have the SWT7, which is a single row harvester for sugarcane. We have the Canatrans 600, which is mainly a sort of sugarcane transport, but can also be used for straw, for silage, wood chips, chaff, grass and hay. Then we have the Fox 11 from Stara. This is a subsoiler cultivator, so this will plough and cultivate our field for us. And, if you look at the description, this also offers the possibility to seed directly with no previous cultivating or ploughing necessary. How cool is that? So, this can plant, but our current configuration doesn't have a seed box fitted, so we are going to have to modify this to fit a seed box so that we can plant while we're ploughing and cultivating. And it's kind of limited on its grain choices as well. We can do wheat, we can do barley, grass, or oilseed radish. That's pretty much it. Then we have the Series Master 3570. This is a more traditional kind of seeder. So again, this one will do direct drill, but it won't obviously remove the plough state. So this is just a cultivating seeder. But this also has fertilizer fitted as well. So this will do a little bit more. This will do wheat, barley, canola, and soybean, and then radish and grass as well. And that's it. That's our starting equipment. So we're going to jump back to the store. We're going to sell this tractor just here, and we're going to replace it with the second Stara, the larger of the two Staras. So let's get rid of this. We'll get 44,500 for it. That's a pretty decent price, considering it's old. And let's go into tractors. Oh, and one other thing to be wary of, this will catch you out. We now have sugarcane harvesting equipment in the store menu, as you'd expect. There's a lot of sugarcane stuff in here. Loads and loads of stuff for us to choose from. But as a result of adding that in below beets, everything else has been pushed out of place by one. So that was where tippers was, and this was augers. Now you can see that's tippers, and augers has been pushed up here. So everything below that's been pushed down, which means sprayers is now up here. And where we had mowers and balers along the top, we now have weeders and loading wagons, and mowers and balers are down here. And the biggest thing that's probably going to catch most people out is they're going to come across and just go straight into belt systems, because that's where placeables used to be, to go and put a placeable down, and they'll go straight into the belt systems. That's obviously dropped down as well. Everything has been pushed down. So if you've gone straight to where you know something is going to be as a creature of habit, it is going to throw you the first few times as you get used to the slightly changed layout in the store. Everything has been moved by one box. So I've got a helicopter flying overhead. That's quite noisy. I don't know if you can pick that up on the audio. One thing I am going to need is a toolbox mod, because I don't want to spend 28,000 buying a garage for the farm. So let's see, where do I need to go? Which way is the farm? It's this way. If we whiz along here, there's our farm. I'm just going to plonk this here, and then we can reposition it in a moment. We also need to take out a bit of a loan. So we're playing on medium. Let's borrow some extra cash. Let's get ourselves up to about 150,000 loan, like that. That'll do. And let's go into tractors, and let's buy that new Stara. So just whizzing through, and where are you? There you are. The ST Max 150. Now this one has a little bit more of a customization option than its baby brother. This one we can actually change the engine settings. So we have an option of two engine settings: the standard 150, which is 150 horsepower, or we can upgrade it to the 180 for 180 horsepower at a cost of an extra 15,000. We should be fine with just 150 horsepower, at least to get us started. We don't need anything more powerful just yet. In terms of wheel options, again, good wheel options here. We've got standard, wheel weights, wide tyres, narrow tyres, and rear twins. So nice different selection of wheel options. But one thing you will notice with both of these Staras is that they have a front weight permanently fixed. So there is no front mount on these tractors. So that is something you just need to be wary of if you're planning on using something mounted on the front of one of your tractors. None of our starting tractors, be it the case, or as we're replacing it with this, or the little New Holland, or either of the Staras, have a front hitch. They all have a permanently fixed weight that can't be removed. So here we are inside the cab of our brand new little Stara ST Max. You can see we've got a nice little array of switches and levers sort of around on the right hand side. Got our control screen just there for our onboard computer. Lovely little sunroof there to let some of the light in. It's quite a nice little cab, this. And let's make our way back to the farm. Some of the gradients on these roads is a little bit deceptive because the roads are very sort of flat looking and they're very wide. You know, it can sometimes throw you a little bit on just where the gradients are on the hills, and it does, with these wide open roads, it does make you feel a little bit slower than you probably actually are. I mean, we're bombing around at 26 miles an hour, which is top speed for this tractor, but it doesn't feel quite as fast as that in here. You know, other tractors do have a tendency to feel faster. I think it's quite actually roomy in here. And as I say, we've got these wide open roads as well, so maybe that just adds to that slow down kind of effect and feel. But we are pretty close to the farm, so we're going to try and experience a little bit of everything in this first episode here as we get ourselves underway. So let's just bring this back to the farm. This is our cow pasture just here, and there's our silos. And because we're on medium, we do have a little bit of starting grain for, you know, our regular grains, but not for sugarcane, although we are given some quite nice supplies. So there's our other starer packed up just there, and there's our little single row harvester. If I jump out here, we also have, in terms of supplies, 4 boxes of sugarcane here to refill our seeder, which is always, you know, a nice little bonus. And then as we drive in here, we also have 4 pallets of seed, 3 pallets of solid fertilizer, and then around the back here 3 pallets of liquid fertilizer. So we've got some nice decent starting supplies. There are no seed points on this farm, so if we want to go ahead and put a placeable in, or we want to just, you know, skip buying pallets, we are going to have to buy some placeables and stick those down. We're going to use up our supplies to start with, and then take it from there. So this is going to be put to work on field 14. This is going to be planting some sugarcane for us. We're going to make a start on that, and then once we've had a little go with sugarcane planting, I'm going the long way, aren't I? Yes. I need to be a little bit further up. Still haven't quite got used to finding my way around everywhere in this yard just yet. There we go. There's our planter. Once we've had a quick sort of run with this and we're used to this, we're then going to get the combine up and running, and we're also going to get our other tractor, our other star up and running, and seeding and cultivating and ploughing. Get all of that stuff done together. So there we go. We are connected. Now this is a single row planter with a 1 meter working width, so this is not going to be a job for the faint of heart when it comes to doing it manually. You're going to have to be so careful with your positioning to make sure that you're not, you know, overlapping and wasting effort, or just not even planting on the field. Well, let's give this a go. See how we get on. I'm kind of trying to balance the boundary of this field here with our tractor, and you can hear that scraping noise. And one thing I do like as well, you can see they're actually spraying the water, or, you know, spraying fertilizer onto the sugarcane, you know, as it's going through that roll belt and fed down to be planted. That's really nice. That's a really cool little animation there. You can see it there, look, just being sprayed as it goes through the conveyor system. That's really kind of funky. I like that. Oops. I've been playing a lot of spin tyres recently, so I'm still kind of moving with spin tyre camera control. I've got to get used to playing farming sim cameras again. Just raise that up. I do like the way it kind of just chunks through the ground, and you can actually see the I mean, it was still moving there as we were pulling around, but you can actually see the sugarcane being pushed down into the ground, you know, delivered down that kind of chute system. So I've got to try and line this up. This is where it's going to get tricky, is trying to line up your second pass. Like this. So I'm going to have to try and figure out exactly where I need to place the wheel. But I think if we get it placed like here, right on the edge of that previous one, that looks to be about right. Just hear that earth being scraped along by our planter here. You can see that sugarcane being fed down the belt there underneath into the ground. That's pretty cool. I do like that. There we go. So we'll do one more manual pass, then we'll hand it over to the worker. And we'll actually pay a little bit more closer attention to some of the inner workings of this. So I want to be kind of lined up, I think, with my wheel right there on the edge of the previous planting. Let's get back just a touch, I think. There we go. This is definitely going to be one of the trickier jobs, I think, is using this single row equipment. And it could be very problematic trying to harvest this sugarcane with a single row harvester and not damaging the rest of the crop as we're driving through. That's definitely something I think we're going to need skinny wheels for, us. We're just going to waste so much of this sugarcane through crop destruction. Alright, so let's get a worker to take over for us. Now we can really zoom in on some of these details. So let me just get rid of the mini-map. There, you can see the sugarcane coming down and then being fed in underneath. I love watching these machines up close, just seeing them, you know, in complete operation. And let's see where the worker drives with his wheels. He's actually driving on the row that was planted, so he's actually further across than I was. Not by much, but by a little bit. I wonder if that's made a difference to how this is being planted. Let's just take a quick look at the mini-map and have a look. Looks to be about right. And it's saying harvested. When it should, really, in theory, be saying planted, which would be the palest of the green colours. So why is it showing harvested? I wonder, do we need to prepare the soil properly, you know, with a specific cultivator first? I wouldn't have thought so. That would seem a little counterintuitive, but who knows? I guess we'll find out as this crop continues to grow in. And you can see there, with just those few rows that we've done already, we've eaten up about 1,000 litres. So I don't get the feeling that we're going to actually get this whole field done off a single tank. Fertiliser maybe will be fine, but I think we may possibly run out of sugarcane in the planter before we get this finished, so we may have to top this up. Interesting. Right, moving on. Here is our Bison combine, and this is actually really nice to drive. It really is. I was surprised just how nice it was, but we're going to come back to that in a moment. First things first, I need to hook up a front loader onto this, and I'm going to need a weight as well. I'm going to go with the really big weight of the two, just simply because this little Massey is, you know, a very lightweight piece of equipment, and even a single pallet is really going to have a bit of an adverse effect on our tractor. without some decent counterbalancing going on, so it may possibly be a little bit over the top in terms of weight counterbalancing, but we'll see how we get on. So let's pick up our pallet. I'll slide down. It's close enough. And there you can see we're actually kind of leveled out again. So it just shows you just how much weight difference. I think we are leaning back ever so slightly. I'm going to park this just here for a second. And then I want to get the other Stara, which is just there. And this is going to be slightly underpowered for the job I want it to do. But I want to try and get, you know, a few things up and running straight away. So we need this. This is our cultivator. And we have, as I say, 2 effective seeders, because we have that one just there, which will plant a multitude of different grains. And then we have this one here, which is actually just, in its current configuration, just a subsoiler, so it'll plough and cultivate at once. But if we pop around the corner to this toolbox that I purchased, park about there, and if we spend, oh, that's on the tractor itself, just pull it forward a little bit more. There we go, that should be good enough. There we go. If we go to customize, we can now go seeder box for $5,000. We'll customize that, and boom, ta-da, we have a seeder fitted to our cultivating subsoiler here. Really, really nice little extra attachment on this, so we can now plough and cultivate and seed all in one single movement. That's awesome. I mean, yeah, we're severely limited to just like 2 grains that we can do it in, but that's still pretty awesome, I have to say. So let's open the lid up, jump in our little Massey, raise the seed box up, let's just fill our seeder. There we go. 585 litre tank, so not huge. And we are going to run out of seed, I'm pretty sure of that. But if we close that lid back down again, we need about 130 horsepower to operate this. And this tractor only has 105, so it's going to be a little underpowered, but the ground is pretty flat, I think, where we're going to be planting, so we should be reasonably okay, if a little slower than we probably should be. And because of the lip just here, I'm actually going to do actually no, we won't bother doing a headland across the top there. Let's just get lined up. Now, because this is a cultivator and the field that we're working on here is already cultivated, it is going to struggle at first. It's going to, you know, complain, and it's not going to want to hire a worker. So what you're going to need to do is manually lower, turn it on. I'm just going to change the seed. Actually, no. Let's stick with wheat on this one, so we can double up on the wheat that we already have. Let's turn on. We'll make a start on this field, and once we've just got going, then we can hire a worker, and it'll take over for us nicely. So you can see there we're chewing up the ground there, and we're cultivating away. We're also seeding at the same point, and we're getting the same seed texture that we do on our normal maps, but the ground is obviously a different colour. Now once you actually start seeding, it becomes really, really easy to see the fields, but when you zoom out a little bit, and from certain camera angles, it becomes almost impossible to actually tell where the field starts and finishes, at least from a distance, and where the path begins, because it's just the same colour. So you can see it just gets harder and harder. You look along there, and it becomes very, very, very difficult to actually tell very quickly where the field is and where the path is. But there we go. There is our seeding plough. I never thought I'd say that in one go. You know, we've got a plough that is seeding. That's so cool. And he's bouncing along at sort of 8-9 miles an hour. He's not doing too bad. He's slightly underpowered, as I say, but he'll cope. And we are going to have to refill this, you know, a couple of times, I think, to get this field done, because it's actually quite a decent-sized field. I mean, we look at the map here. Field 2 is actually a pretty good size. But just to show you that it is ploughing while it's seeding, you can see we've got, you know, wheat being laid down here. That's this thin strip here that's appearing. We also have no red line there anymore. It's disappearing. And that, you know, red box will get smaller and smaller and smaller as we move along. But this won't fertilise, so we are going to have to fertilise separately. So there we go. There is our Stara 105 seeding away for us. And we are missing just little bits on the edges of the fields. Not a lot we can do about that unless we actually do a headland afterwards. I might do that. We'll see. I might just leave it as is. So, what else can we do? Well, I think we can probably get rid of our lizard rodeo. So, I love the fact that we can just roll this door up. This is so cool. It took me a little while to realise on the map tour that you can actually get in the house, and it was this vehicle that made me realise that, because I was looking through the equipment list and I saw this truck and I'm like, I don't remember seeing that on the farm as I was walking past, and I came back to where it was showing and then it appeared that it was inside that building, so I opened that door there on the side and got in that way, and then was able to open up the roller shutter. And I thought, well, maybe I should try the doors on the house, because I'd gone up to them and just looked at them and oh, I can't get in, without even thinking of actually trying the door handle. So I spent about 5 minutes trying to get in the house and giving up without actually really trying to get in the house. And then once I did get in the house, I spent another 5 minutes just wandering around in there exploring. It's so cool in there, it really is. But we're going to go and get rid of this truck because we're not going to use it. I never use these pickup trucks, really. It just seems, you know, something that we don't really need. We can't really justify. So if we get rid of it, it'll give us a little bit of extra cash. So I need to go left. And I'm loving the new traffic models that we have with these new kind of buses and new cars. A little bit of frame rate lag there. And I'm amazed that we actually have a Citroen 2CV. It doesn't have the Citroen badge on the front of it, but that is a Citroen 2CV. You know, I was amazed to see that on this map. I really didn't expect to see that. Got caught out by that a little bit when I saw it on my map tour. Here we are at the store. So let's sell that. And we could, I suppose, we could buy the convertible. It'll cost us 36,000. That's going to eat up most of everything that we have left. But we do still have a little bit more loan money to play about with. And the convertibles are really, really cool. But we're not going to use it that often. I don't know. Do I buy it? I'll hold off for now. But if you want one on the farm, let me know in the comment section and we'll buy one. So for now, we're going to leave it. But as I say, if you want one on the farm, let me know in the comments. And if there's enough of you that say yes, get the convertible, we'll buy a convertible. Quickly checking in here on our 150. It's making some decent progress on this field. Down to just under 5,000 litres left, so yeah, I'm convinced we're going to have to, refill this. See there, he's busy planting away another row. So now it's time to do our harvesting, but before we do that, I want to make sure that I've got some pallets in place on the edge of the field. For our other Stara tractor that's working away. So I do like that it's nice and open. We have no pillars because we have no windows. That's kind of nice. I'm just going to drop this box just here. Hopefully. Why won't that come off the forks? Oh, it's got stuck on the forks. Ah, I hate when this happens. Come on. You'd think that a year after the game has come out and with this new expansion, this issue would have been fixed by now. But nope, we are still getting stuff wedged and stuck on the pallet forks. It's not like it's even wedged in at a really bad angle. It's just... I can't believe this is still an issue. Oh, there we go. Managed to wedge it loose. Let's go back and get another pallet, because those 415 litres won't be enough to finish that field, and I'm pretty sure of that. So let's get a second pallet. We may even potentially in the future need to come back for a third, but I don't think we'll be at that point just yet. So let's grab this pallet here. Let's get the forks down. There we go. This is a really nice little tractor, this. The engine sounds like it's being severely stressed every time you rev it. And it screams when you lift your foot off the accelerator. But yeah, we've got your nice little levers and controls down the side there. You've got a little, gear drive just there by the look of it. For something. Maybe that's your... I don't really understand how, the inner workings of tractors, because I'm not a farmer. Maybe that's for the hitch control at the back. I don't know. Maybe it's the front loader control. I don't know. Let's drop this just here. Hopefully this one will come off nice and easy. Oh, look at that. Beautifully. First time. And then we're going to get rid of the weight and the front loader forks. And we're going to go grab a trailer. And this is going to be used to shuttle grain. So let's drop off our front loader tools just here, back where we got them from. Pallet forks first, then the arms, and we'll drop the weight as well. Oh, watch how that trailer, the back of the tractor just popped back up then as we released the weight there. Let's grab our Brantner trailer, and you're going to need to be very wary of your choice of trailer if you decide to stick with the Bison, because the pipe for unloading the combine is at a very shallow angle. So anything a little bit taller than this may not like that pipe at all. It may get stuck, it may get wedged. We'll repark our little tractor just there for now. Let's jump into the combine. And I tell you what, I really do like driving in this combine. Look at this field of view that we have, because again, no windows, so no pillars, blocking our line of sight here. No safety pillars needed to hold the windows in place and keep the structural integrity. We literally just have this shade mounted over the top of us to stop us from getting, heat and sunstroke. Very kind of old, rustic tractor. You can see just these basic controls here with the gear stick and you know, the different levers and these old time gauges as well. It really is a very old piece of equipment, but it's a joy to drive. It really is. It doesn't need to be unfolded, so you don't have to unfold the flap on the top first. And you can't turn off straw swathing, or at least I can't. You know, I don't know if that's intentional or if it's a bug that needs to be patched, but straw swathing is, you know, just a permanent fixture at the moment. You can't turn it off. And like I said, I don't know if that is 100% deliberate. I get the feeling it probably is, but you never know. It may be a bug. I guess we'll wait and see if it gets patched in the future to allow us to actually turn it off or not. That would be the clearest indication, I suppose, as to whether or not we're supposed to do that. And let me pipe out. Look how shallow that angle is for the pipe. It's not that high up, and it moves at a very shallow angle as well. So yeah, anything higher than the Brantner in terms of the trailer wall may struggle slightly on that. Here we are driving in cab, and just, well, I say in cab, there isn't a cab really, is there? There's kind of like a little shelf that we're sitting on. Here we are on shelf with our nice padded seat. And this thing turns so well. Look how well this thing turns. It's amazing. You know, I've driven, you know, all the combines that we have in the game, and this thing is the best turning combine that we have. It spins so well. It's brilliant. I love to drive this thing, even though I'm terrible at harvesting in first person. I like driving this thing in first person because we have such this, I mean, look at this open view here. That's amazing. I love that. That's so good. To just not have those pillars obscuring our line of sight, and just this big open space around us. Really, really nice. So we're going to harvest the rest of this grain, and then we'll, from time to time, we'll get a worker to take over when we need to do things like unload the combine or top up our seeders. And we'll have to second the Massey there, put the front loader back on. I probably should have left it on, really. I mean, we're okay with the seeder on the field next to us on field 2 because we can just drive up to those pallets, but the other one, you know, that's being planting our sugarcane, you know, we are really, I suppose, going to have to actually go and grab a box of sugarcane and take it over there, rather than, you know, pulling the equipment all the way back into the farm just for that one box. See, I am a little bit wonky and missing stuff. It's because I'm trying to do it in cab and haven't quite got used to this combine yet in terms of where I need to be positioned to make sure that I'm not losing stuff. You can hear that kind of like ticking noise as well as the equipment runs away. It's almost like a really loud watch or clock, just tick, 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 tick. But look how well this thing turns. It's incredible how good that steering angle is. Try and hold a straight line along here. Oh, there we go. Something has run out already. So let's get the worker to take over for us. It's not this, but you can see how it's tilted. The tank has tilted to get the last of that sugarcane sort of pushing down. That's a nice little feature. I didn't realise it did that. See that the tank has raised at the back. I love this kind of this moment when you have brand new content and you just start to learn all about the the various different animations and features of your equipment. That trailer tipping like that, I did not expect it to do that, and that's a really really nice little surprise. Um, yeah, here we go. This is full, run out of seed already. We haven't done that much of the field really. If you look at it, I don't particularly want to. I don't really want to break off where we are in our positioning on the field. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go reattach the front loader. I should have just left it attached, and we'll take another pallet over and top up the seeder that way. So let's reattach our gear here. Apologies if you can hear my stomach growling away. It was growling at me earlier, so I stopped what I was doing and made myself a quick snack. And now it's just digesting that snack, and it's just as noisy as it was when it was empty. Ah, dear. Stomach just gurgling at me. So I don't know if you can hear, strange, weird, rumbly noises in the background. It's my stomach, I do apologise. So I'm not really used to having something to eat at this time of day. It's just gone 5 AM. So this game should now be going live around about now in America and Canada. I do believe that they generally, I think they push things live on East Coast time rather than West Coast time. So it is now midnight Pacific, or just gone midnight Pacific. Sorry, midnight Eastern. So it should, in theory, be running out live now in the States and in Canada. So once again, it's get the worker going. Why is he not seeding? Alright, let's back up. He was just cultivating there. Why wasn't he seeding? Let's close the lid. Let's turn on. There we are. Now we're seeding. Now we'll hire the worker. And we're slightly off, so we're actually leaving a thin gap. Let's just see if we can correct that. I'm not too worried about a thin little strip there like that. Let's just get this back up and running again. There we go. I need to go and empty the combine, so let's drive off the field. I do love this new kind of ground texture. I wonder how long it's going to be before we start seeing these textures being used on maps, for mod maps. It'd be kind of cool to start seeing, some new South American maps popping up with these new sort of, orangey brown dirt colours. And I do like this new grass color, this new grass texture as well. So hopefully we'll be able to see that start making its way into some maps as well, because I think it looks so much nicer than the colour that we normally use, or this type of grass that we normally get as standard on giant maps. That giant grass texture. I just want to have a look, actually, speaking of textures. This is our sugarcane, I think. Let's just check. Fruit types. No, this is corn. Oh, I can see now. I can see the ears of corn. Look, it just looks a bit different. It's because I've been playing on mob maps recently, and it's been a while since I've seen corn looking like that. Do we actually have any sugarcane growing on the map? No, we don't. There's no sugarcane anywhere on the map. other than what we've just started putting down here on field 14. That's a bit of a surprise. I figured at least one of these fields would have sugarcane on it, but no, apparently we are the only ones with that, so interesting. Just over 2,000 litres left. I wonder if the angle got even higher. Combine is back up and running again. So let's spin around. We'll park up over here. And I think this is a pretty good place to end our first episode. So we've got harvesting underway, we've got planting of sugarcane going on, we are also planting more wheat on field 2 and ploughing it at the same time. Plenty of stuff going on the farm, and then when you come back we'll be a little bit further along with our harvest and our planting. And then we'll look and see what else we can get done. So thanks for watching, I'm Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more Platinum Edition Estancia very, very soon.